Looking to trade your old bulk for some of the latest Pokemon booster boxes? Well, check ccgcastle.com. The process is very simple. Send in 1400 cards and get a brand new sealed booster box back. We ship boxes worldwide for free once we get your cards. Make sure to check video description or check ccgcastle.com for more information. Looking to grade your Pokemon cards and you don't know how to do it? Check out Ludkins Collectables and grade your Pokemon cards with zero risk. Check video description or visit ludkinscollectables.com for more. Hey Poké Trainers, once again welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Another video. In today's video we'll be looking at another deck for the current extended format. So in today's video I'm actually going to show you the deck list that I recently just made. So it's Vespiquen Flareon deck, and I hope you are gonna enjoy watching this video. I will actually try to give my best to explain all of those cards basically inside. So 60 cards deck, just in case if you're new to the game. So the first card inside of this build is gonna be, of course, Execute with the Propagation. Pretty cool card. Not that good if you start with it, but if you're not gonna start with it, simply if you can just Battle Compressor it out once per turn, you can simply, actually as often as you like per turn, you can simply put this card from your discard pile back into your hand and use it, and use that ability. So as long as you have Execute in your hand, you can discard it. And for example, you can play Ultra Ball by discarding Execute and one other card. So let's say you can play Ultra Ball for only one card if you have Execute in your discard pile. Of course, as long as the ability is not shut down by some disruptive cards like Hex Maniac or Garbod or Garbotoxin, you're going to be just simply fine. Other card in this build as a tech card is Giratina with the Warlight. Kind of good tech against Trevenant or Greninja, mainly because it can help a lot, plus it's just a Pokemon that can be discarded for 10 extra damage counters. One copy of Tapu Lele. I guess I don't need to talk too much about Tapu Lele tech. And 2 copies of Shaymin EX. So as long as you have Shaymin, you can just set up and draw some other cards from your, basically from your deck back to your hand. Speaking about attackers, of course I'm running 4 copies of Combi. It's very important to have 4 pieces of Combis, as well as 4 copies of Vespiquen. There we go. So Vespiquen is 90 HP Pokemon with Free Retreat, which is kind of good. Basically, it can hit for 20 plus 10 for each Pokemon in our discard pile. So Vespiquen will just hit for 20 plus 10 for that Be Revenge, which is very powerful. It can go for the weakness against Seismitoad, who is actually an expanded format very good card right now, especially with the Drampa. So yeah, as long as we have Vespiquen, we can go for the one-hit knockout pretty much easily. With, let's say, 7 Pokemons in discard pile, which is not that hard to discard, especially if you go first. Then of course I'm running 1 Eevee with Son of Evolution. You know, just in case you can search a deck for 3 different types that evolves from Eevee, especially if you start first and just put them into your hand. Kind of like it. I guess I'm gonna put that right here. 3 copies of Eevee with the Energy Evolution, but I decided to go with the one from the Furious Fist. The truth is that it's a 50 HP Pokemon, but it's 1 retreat cost, so it can be easily retreated by paying only 1 energy retreat cost. I mean, yeah, when we attach Fire Energy, we can just evolve into the Flareon, so 60 HP might be better. That's correct, that's true, but for the purpose of this video, I just decided to go with this Eevee. You can also go with the one from the... it's not Sun and Moon, or maybe it is Sun and Moon set, not kind of sure. I think it is Sun and Moon set, Sun and Moon base set Eevee, with the same energy evolution. Then of course I'm running 1 copy of Jolteon. It's a Free Retreat Pokemon with like 90 HP. I mean, it can provide us with extra lighting type, just in case if we need, so we can hit for the weakness also against Pokemons that are weak to the lighting. For example, Evoltal EX. It's not that good anymore in expanded form, but you never know. This card can easily be traded by Vaporeon, mainly because Vaporeon can actually provide us a water type. With a water type, we can just counter much easier some decks like Volcanion, for example. 4 copies of Flareon, of course, with the Vengeance. So Vengeance 20 plus 10, pretty much the same thing as the Be Revenge. 20 plus 10 for each Pokemon in your discard pile is just fire type, so we can also hit for the weakness. Grass Pokemon decks and any other deck that is actually weak onto the fire. 4 copies of Unknown, and that's pretty much all from the Pokemon. Kind of a lot of Pokemons, but this is the main strategy of this deck, to be able to discard as many Pokemons as we can. Unknown is a very good card because by discarding Unknown we can just use Far Wallet and take 1 card from the top of our deck, so I kind of like that. The only stadium right here is Pearl City. So basically with the Pearl City, I can simply discard my Shames from the bench and topple Alice, so I can have much more bench space later for non-EX Pokemon, of course. Live Dew is my ace pick for this deck, and I also like it. Just because, with the Puzzle of Time, I can recycle it a couple times, and I can simply force my opponent to not take prize card after he managed to knock out my Pokemon, so that's pretty cool. 1 Rescue Stretcher, so we can recover once we remove from play with Pearl City, something like Tapu and put it back into our hand if we need, or something like 2 Shamins, as well as 1 copy of Field Blower, which is very important, so we can also discard Pearl City just in case if we need it. Then a couple Versus Seekers. I'm running again 3 copies of Versus Seekers, as well as in the Night March deck that I showed yesterday. Then 4 copies of Ultra Ball. There we go with 4 copies of Ultra Balls. Yeah, pretty much just discard 1 card with Execute from your hand in exchange to search your deck for any Pokemon. And then of course 4 pieces of puzzles. So I even managed to find space to take 4 puzzles. So yeah, basically 4 Puzzle of Times, 4 piece of Puzzle of Time. Managed to find space for it. Somehow I feel it's a very good card, mainly because of that Live Dew. This is just the strategy that I'm using to play with this deck. Then of course I'm running 4 copies of a Battle Compressor, With 4 copies of Battle Compressor, I can just discard up to 3 cards from my deck into my discard pile. So it can be Fire Energies for the Blacksmith, it can be Pokemons, it can be pretty much any card. The good thing about Battle Compressor is the fact that you can also discard, let's say, Tapu Lele in your discard pile, and then you can play 2 pieces of puzzles and grab Tapu Lele and something else, and then just with Tapu Lele search your deck for a supporter card, and I kind of like that idea. Also from supporters, I'm running 1 copy of Blacksmith. So with the Blacksmith, we can actually accelerate on those Flareons 2 Fire Energies. So Blacksmith can actually turns up into the energy attachment. Blacksmith can also be a couple times used by the Versus Seeker. I'm running only 1 copy of Guzma, so I'm probably going to be criticized about that play. I don't know, decided to go with only 1 Guzma for now because I didn't find space for another one, or maybe for the Lysander. I wish I can find another one. I'm probably gonna need to find 1 more space just to take another Guzma, because I think it's very important to have 2 Guzmas, or at least 1 Guzma, 1 Lysander, in case if one of them are prized. Then I'm running 1 copy of Teammates, which is a good card. Mainly because with Puzzle of Time, Teammates is very good card, especially after you get knockout. And let's just say we take the knockout with Pokemon that Live Dew have attached. Our opponent will not take a prize card. We can just activate Teammates. We can just pick any 2 cards from our deck and put them into our hands. So I kind of like that idea. 1 copy of the Hex Maniac, also a good card against Trevenant, can help a lot. 1 copy of the N. And of course, I'm running in addition to that 3 copies of Professor Juniper. So it's expanded format, and that's why we like Professor Juniper. From the energy cards, I also decided to go with 3 copies of Fire Energies. 2 energies, 2 Fire Energies will not be good, mainly because if one of these 2 energies are prized, we're not going to be in good position. Let's just imagine 1 energy prize and we only have 1, so Blacksmith is just useless, it cannot be played. And of course 4 copies of DCE, so in this deck 7 energies in total, and that's pretty much it. With 4 copies of DCEs, we're also going to have extra energy to attack, so this is the reason why I'm not running, for example, Special Charge in this deck, because it's not needed. We can easily recover energies and attack with Flareon, for example, simply by playing Blacksmith. So plenty of different options to hit for the weakness with this deck. I'm thinking about just probably discarding Jolteon in addition to another Guzma, and that's probably going to be a sweet spot, because these days I don't know how many players are actually going to attack something like Yveltal in their deck. So yeah, discarding Jolteon makes a lot of sense in my opinion. But then of course it will just reduce damage for 10, but still having extra Guzma probably going to be much better than having that Jolteon, in my opinion. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Let me also know in the comments below what you think about this deck list. So yeah, stay tuned for more videos. Till the next time, have a nice day, and goodbye.